Greetings, I am D, and welcome back to Samhain month. Robots, machines, androids, artificial life forms, they've been part of our culture for a very long time. In fact,
the Greeks, Romans, Babylonians, Chinese, they all envisioned synthetic beings that took on human shape and behavior long before the words robot or android were ever uttered.
unfortunately, along with the more optimistic idea of artificial life forms, also came the more pessimistic idea that we, humans, are incapable of creating life without it ultimately trying to kill us. And of course, in a modern context, those artificial life forms have not only been trying to kill us, they had plans for world domination. Insert your own joke here. Bottom line is, the notion of machines trying to either kill us or take us over has been done to death. So how does Daniel H. Wilson expect his novel to work at all? Only one way to find out. Let's take a look at Robopocalypse. By the end of this chronicle, you will know that humanity carried the flame of knowledge into the terrible blackness of the unknown, to the very brink of annihilation. You will know we are a better species for having fought this war. Ooh, a bull? Is that you? Seriously, this opening reminds me of one of his movies, House of the Dead. Said movie opens with a man monologuing about how he's the only survivor of the events we're about to see. In other words, we know in advance who lives and who dies. And this is no different, as we know in advance that humans will survive this war. The high-pitched voice echoes out of the darkness. "Did you create me?" it asks. "No, I didn't create you," he says. "Everything that was needed for you to come here has existed since the beginning of time. I just hunted down all the ingredients and put them together in the right combination." You are aware you're talking to a artificial intelligence and not a creationist, right? "No new information is coming in. How are you still getting smarter?" You're talking to the intelligence. It, in turn, is processing the information you're providing in doing so. Are you even a scientist? "There's no need for your search to continue. The time for man is over." "I brought you here, Arcos. In a way, I'm your father." "I'm not your child. I'm your god." Why would an AI even think that? Even if a concept of a god, which is so vague and contradictory, could possibly compute, an AI would be far too aware of both its abilities and its limitations to even begin to consider the possibility that it is a god. Sure, it worked in Darkstar, but that was a comedy! This book is supposed to be taken seriously! So we already know how it ends. The characters don't act like they're supposed to. And I'm only at page 17. Only 330 to go. This interview was given to Oklahoma police officer Lonnie Wayne Blanton by a young fast food worker. Yes, this will be how the story is framed. Rather than actually telling the story, it's a collection of reports, newspapers and the like telling us the story. Why does that sound familiar? It is widely believed to be the first recorded incident of a robot malfunction occurring during the spread of the precursor virus that led to Zero Hour only 9 months later. 9 months? Organic viruses spread faster than this. Are you telling me that they don't have faster computers in the future? Come to think of it, does this story even take place in the future? It's never made clear. At least in the movie Robopocalypse, it's explained that the entire movie takes place on an island, cut off from civilization as we know it, so it makes sense for them to have a more advanced technology, so for all we know it could take place in the year this movie was released. That's right, a movie that is worthy of being asylum material actually tells the story better than this book. I dare not ask if this could possibly get any worse. The description of this prank gone awry is written as told by Ryu Aoki, a repairman at a Lilliput electronics factory in Tokyo, Japan. Lilliput? No wonder Japan still calls us Gaijin. The android squanders its power pretending to breathe and moving the skin of its face. Isn't that a bit redundant? I'm not sure about the moving of its skin, but why should it pretend to breathe? You'd think a man who has a PhD in robotics would know better than that. We've survived. It had to have been for a reason. Isn't that had to have been for a reason? Maybe it's a character thing. I never could have guessed how useful that would turn out to be. That wasn't even the same character! I guess being able to build a robot doesn't mean you have to be very literate. This account was pieced together from recorded conversations between Lurker and people who visited his base of operations. Okay. Lurker, you going to answer that? Not a doubt in my mind. If this is a recorded conversation, how could anyone know what this one guy is thinking? Nothing in this book adds up. The characters are wrong, the story is vague to nonsensical, and the narration... Bram Stoker doesn't just roll in his grave, he'll wish he never existed! On top of that, if a movie, one which can be considered one of the worst ever made, may actually be better than this, you're doing something wrong! This was D, and Halloween is still on its way.